If you're a software engineer working in generative AI, then internal users at your company may be asking you to build an internal tool to facilitate their workflows. That may not be necessary. Here are 5 things you can do instead, leveraging existing tools to support workflows without you having to build and maintain your own custom system. For many of these workflows, I'm going to bias towards Google because many companies will support Gmail. And if you have Google Business Suite, you get a bunch of these workflow supporting use cases along with that. So one is Gemini for Sheets, Google Sheets. You can do a discussion with Gemini there in the Google Sheets tab. There's a similar option for Google Docs where you can have it draft text or revise text. There is also in Google Drive a summarize with Drive workflow. A lot of people don't know about this. You can effectively have a custom knowledge base by putting files in a Drive folder and then use the summarize with Drive feature, and you will have an interactive chat where Gemini refers to those documents in the drive. So it operates as a RAG, but you don't have to build and maintain it. Gemini Advanced, which is basically Google's ChatGPT UI, is pretty useful, and it comes with some things out of the box like the ability to create reminders by text. So you can say, remind me to take lunch tomorrow at noon, and it will create a task on your Google Calendar. So if you want to do something with calendars, maybe you can just have training for your end users to understand how to use this feature, and you don't need to build a calendar integration in a language model. Much simpler, right? Gemini gems are things, but they're currently not very shareable. So if you have a case where you want to share Gemini gems, that actually is a case where it looks like you would benefit from building a custom bot today. In the future, they may allow better sharing. Google also doesn't do a good job of sharing with the chats. So here's where OpenAI is going to win. The ability to share a snapshot of a chat. Kind of crazy to me. June 2025, Google doesn't have this. You actually need to do some custom logic to share a full conversation. Gemini will let you share a particular response, but not a full conversation. Kind of crazy to me, but that's the way it is today. So that leads us into a few cases where you actually probably do want a custom tool. One is if you use any of these workflows, maybe the experience is good, but the quality of output is bad. And so there are difficulties evaluating and controlling the foundation model. So like Google Drive, like Summarize with Drive, you don't get to pick Gemini 2.5 Pro versus whatever, reasoning, whatever. You're just using the one out of the box. Sometimes it's good enough, you can get a quick win, but if the output quality is too low, that's a signal that you need to build your own bot at that point. If you want to do these things that aren't supported, like sharing threads, you might need to store your own messages and build your own share layer. And the other one is third-party data service integration. So this is where you could use something like Slack AI, where they have pre-built integrations. You're either going to have to build or buy, or you can build your own, SSO-enabled platform, generative AI platform. It's a bunch of work, but it's actually like a good idea in a lot of cases. The trick here is not to have a hammer and a nail. Okay, so large enterprises, you probably need a generative AI platform that's SSO enabled. That doesn't mean every generative AI use case should be a new task for that team. So you want to train your workforce to be able to distinguish when can I self-serve and when do I need to file a task with this team. Otherwise, you're just going to create another bottleneck, right? Hope this helps. Follow for more.